Have you ever wondered what would happen if modern-day pirates tried to take one of those colossal US Navy ships? Well, that's precisely what we're delving into today. You see, piracy isn't a recent tale. It's woven into the fabric of maritime history, dating way back. Picture Norse sailors raiding vessels on the high seas, or the infamous Caribbean pirates like Blackbeard. Pirates in those times were a varied lot, chasing after riches, notoriety, and influence in an era when seafarers had limited standing and prospects in society. Early 2000s piracy in the Horn of Africa.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Now fast forward to the early 2000s. The Horn of Africa was a hotspot for piracy, with hundreds of piracy incidents making headlines every year. Picture this: a cargo ship captain in 2007 navigating the waters off the Horn of Africa, transporting wheat from Kenya to Saudi Arabia. Suddenly, armed pirates in small speedboats close in. Their aim? Board the ship, round the crew, and demand a ransom that could run into millions. Now, the captain's got limited options in this high-stakes game. Retreat to the ship's citadel, call for Coast Guard backup, or use a water hose to deter the pirates. But once those pirates are on board, it's often too late. Crew members find themselves hostages for an indefinite period, facing grim prospects like starvation and potential torture. It's a terrifying reality of those treacherous waters. Modern piracy worldwide. But piracy isn't just limited to the Horn of Africa. It's a global phenomenon. Indonesia, Bangladesh, West Africa, they've all had their share of maritime mayhem. In Indonesia, pirates have been known to strike with hijackings, while in Bangladesh, waters have witnessed their fair share of hostage situations. Meanwhile, West Africa has seen its own brand of piracy, with thefts and raids on the high seas.
To you. Come down, please.
Don't want to talk to me. How?
I want to ask questions.
Questions?
Okay? Yes,
As
just...
in,
The message is clear. Piracy knows no borders, and its flavors are diverse, ranging from ship hijackings to nerve-wracking hostage dramas. Roots of Somali piracy. Now let's dive into the heart of the matter. The roots of Somali piracy. It's a bit like peeling back the layers of an onion. There's more than meets the eye. Illegal overfishing. Foreign vessels off the Somali coast fishing to their heart's content, but there's a problem. It's illegal, and it's devastating for the local fishermen.
When boats that no one can control, like the one from Yemen, come into Somali water, you can sometimes lose up to 15,000. You cast your nets and hook into the sea, and then they come and take them. There is nothing that you can do except cut up a lot of money.
These foreign ships depleted fish stocks, taking away the livelihoods of Somali fishermen who relied on these waters for their income. Toxic waste dumping. But that's not all. A huge amount of waste is also dumped into Somali waters, which is hazardous like radioactive materials. Some of it even came from countries that had once colonized Somalia, like Switzerland and Italy. The land and water became contaminated, leading to health issues for local communities. Political instability. And here's the third piece of the puzzle: political instability. Somalia, a land of competing clans and warlords, was fragmented. In some parts, there was relative peace and government control, but most of the country remained a patchwork of chaos. The power vacuum? Well, it created the perfect breeding ground for piracy to flourish. So you see, Somali piracy wasn't just about pirates trying to get rich. It had deep-rooted causes, and understanding them is key to unraveling the whole story. It started as a form of local defense and revenue collection, a response to the exploitation of their resources. But like any story, there are twists and turns. Evolution of Somali piracy. Somali piracy has evolved through time, and it's a tale that takes some surprising twists. Introduction of ransoms. By the early 2000s, pirates in the region started demanding ransoms. That marked a major shift. Piracy was no longer just about capturing ships and cargo, but it was becoming all about the money. Pirate businesses. Pirate operations evolved into sophisticated businesses. They had lawyers, cooks, and even financial systems. Pirate bosses emerged as sharp businessmen investing in piracy, while clan leaders and warlords pocketed their share of the loot. Pirate operations had become so organized that they could spot counterfeit money and keep meticulous financial records. Luxurious lifestyles. Warlords involved in piracy were living large. They built massive villas, acquired luxury cars, and hosted extravagant parties fueled by all sorts of excess. This was a stark contrast to the impoverished communities they came from. As time went on, piracy shifted from a form of informal defense to a full-fledged organized crime. Challenges of combating piracy.
Alabama! Alabama ship! Somali Coast Guard! This is a routine check! Stop your ship now! We are coming aboard! We're here to help you!
Today, piracy is universally acknowledged as a pressing issue, prompting numerous countries to take action against it. However, as with any complex problem, combating piracy on the high seas presents formidable challenges. Increase in piracy rates. The first challenge is a real head-scratcher. Over the last decade, piracy surged by a staggering 75%. That's a serious threat to maritime trade and the safety of seafarers. Pirates seem to be getting more audacious by the day. Risky waters near Somalia. Waters near Somalia are like a pirate's playground. They use fast boats, fake distress signals, and cunning tricks to get close to large ships. And when they board these vessels, they often demand hefty ransoms, sometimes in the millions of dollars. It's a high-stakes game played out in dangerous waters. Navy patrols and onboard security. But don't think for a second that pirates have it all their way. The US Navy have deployed patrols and implemented onboard security measures to counter the threat. These measures are crucial to safeguarding vessels and their valuable cargo. But even with these efforts, the pirate threat persists. US Navy's anti-piracy strategies. As the superpower it is, the United States has deployed a range of strategies through its Navy to directly confront these modern-day pirates. Non-lethal deterrence. The first option is usually non-lethal water cannons, blasting high-pressure streams of water. And they're very formidable anti-piracy tools. They're used to deter pirates from even attempting to board merchant vessels. Plus, they can throw a wrench into pirate boats' plans, limiting their maneuverability and making them think twice. Enhanced ship hardening. These Navy ships aren't your average vessels. They are fortified with physical barriers like razor wires, anti-climbing barriers, reinforced doors, and fortified citadels. These measures create formidable obstacles, making it incredibly tough for pirates to access ships and their precious cargo. Best Management Practices, or BMP. And then there is BMP, which is a crucial in the anti-piracy playbook. These best practices include maintaining high-speed transit, conducting anti-piracy drills, having lookouts and citadel plans in place. It's all about being prepared and reducing vulnerability to pirate attacks. Aerial surveillance. Up in the skies, helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, are the Navy's watchful eyes. They conduct extensive aerial surveillance, covering vast areas and detecting any suspicious activities. This real-time information is transmitted to naval vessels and maritime authorities, enhancing situational awareness and ensuring rapid responses to piracy incidents. Collaborative information sharing.
Jack out.
Chief, we're gonna need the hoses.
Yeah, your pumps are good.
Count it down for me, Shane.
Yeah.
Last but not least, teamwork makes the dream work. The US Navy actively shares information with international partners through initiatives like the Maritime Security Center Horn of Africa and the International Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center. Sharing intelligence, incident reports, and piracy trends helps everyone stay in the loop and respond effectively. Power projection. There is also another proactive approach that the US Navy uses to combat piracy: power projection. Visible presence. Imagine this: a lineup of Navy ships, aircraft, and other naval assets in piracy-prone regions. This visible presence showcases the Navy's readiness to respond swiftly and decisively to pirate threats. Pirates know that confronting these naval forces carries a hefty risk, which discourages their activities. Deterrence. The mere presence of these warships and aircraft acts as a powerful deterrent. Pirates think twice before they see the might of the Navy. They know that taking on naval forces involves a considerable risk, and that discourages pirate activities. Rapid responses. Having naval assets stationed strategically allows for rapid response operations. If a piracy incident occurs, these assets can quickly intercept and disrupt pirate activities, providing crucial support to vessels under threat. Maritime interdiction operations. Here's where things get intense. The Navy conducts maritime interdiction operations, which include boarding and apprehension of suspicious vessels. This disrupts piracy networks and contributes to the prosecution of individuals on board. It's like a high-stakes game of cat and mouse on the high seas. Air superiority. Don't forget about the air power. Carrier-based and maritime patrol aircraft play a significant role. They conduct surveillance and reconnaissance missions, providing air superiority by detecting and monitoring pirate activities from the air. It's like having a watchful eye in the sky. So you see, power projection is all about making a bold statement and ensuring that pirates know they're playing a losing game. Combined Task Force 150, CTF 150. Now, since piracy is a global issue, there is a multinational naval task force known as Combined Task Force 150 or CTF 150.
Our goal is to promote maritime security in order to counter terrorist acts at sea or terrorists' use of the sea to fund or conceal their activity.
This is where things get interesting, as it operates under the Combined Maritime Forces and plays a pivotal role in maritime security. Mission and scope. CTF 150's primary mission is to enhance maritime security and stability in a strategically significant region. There is a sprawling expanse that covers the Gulf of Aden, the Arabian Sea, and the Indian Ocean. Think of it as a giant chessboard, and CTF 150's mission is to guarantee the safety and security of those waters. Multinational collaboration. Now here's the cool part, CTF 150 doesn't operate solo. It's a team effort involving contributions from various nations on a rotating basis. These nations provide naval assets like warships, aircraft, and personnel to conduct patrols, surveillance, and interdiction operations. It's a real example of international collaboration and cooperation to counter terrorism, prevent illicit activities, including piracy and smuggling, and maintain a stable maritime environment. Encounter with pirates. Now that we've explored the arsenal and strategies for combating piracy, let's dive into some real-life examples to see how they're put into action. To do this, we'll recount an incident that occurred on March 18, 2006, involving two powerful U.S. Navy warships, the USS Cape St. George or CG-71 and USS Gonzales DDG-66. These ships were on a vital mission to deter piracy off the coast of Somalia. As these mighty warships patrolled the ocean, they detected a vessel towing a fleet of menacing skiffs closing in with hostile intent. Recognizing the danger, a boarding party from the USS Gonzales ventured forth to investigate. What they encountered was a chilling sight: pirates, heavily armed and brandishing rocket-propelled grenade launchers. In a shocking turn of events, the pirates unleashed a hail of gunfire upon the USS Cape St. George, causing minor damage. Chaos ensued as both the Cape St. George and the Gonzales retaliated with a barrage of small arms fire. The clash of bullets and flames filled the air, leading to the main pirate vessel's engulfment in an inferno, causing it to sink beneath the unforgiving waves. The U.S. Navy emerged victorious, capturing two smaller skiffs and taking 12 pirate prisoners. Tragically, one lifeless body was discovered among the pirates. Evolution of pirate tactics. But pirates aren't ones to sit still. They constantly adapt their tactics to stay one step ahead. Here's a glimpse into their evolving playbook. Use of motherships. Pirates have gotten crafty by using motherships. These larger vessels extend their reach into more remote and unprotected areas, making it tough for naval forces to patrol effectively. It's like a mobile base for piracy. Hijacking fishing vessels. Pirates have also started hijacking fishing vessels. It's a sneaky strategy that takes advantage of the jurisdictional challenges in international waters. It lets pirates approach potential targets discreetly and often catch them off guard. Cyber tactics. They have even stepped into the digital realm. They might hack into shipping company systems to gather intelligence or disrupt operations. It adds a whole new dimension to their criminal activities. These evolving tactics make it crystal clear that combating piracy is no walk in the park. Piracy and environmental issues. Piracy also holds a truly unique aspect: its connection to environmental concerns. It's not just about stolen treasure, there's a broader impact at play. Environmental impact. Pirates are not known for their eco-friendly practices. They engage in unsustainable and destructive fishing practices that decimate fish populations. It's like they're leaving behind a trail of marine destruction. Pollution. Pirate vessels have a knack for polluting the ocean. This includes oil spills and chemical discharges. These actions can lead to the poisoning of marine life and habitats, further contributing to environmental degradation. It's like a toxic trail left in their wake. Destruction of ecosystems. Pirates aren't picky about where they anchor. Sometimes they drop anchor on sensitive areas like coral reefs. This results in the destruction of these fragile ecosystems, which support maritime biodiversity and coastal resilience. It's like bulldozing a forest on the ocean floor. Navigating these treacherous waters of piracy is not an easy task, and it's clear that piracy is more than just a Hollywood movie plot. It's a real and ongoing challenge on the high seas. But the good news is that there are dedicated forces like the US Navy and international task forces working tirelessly to keep these waters safe for trade, navigation, and the environment. They employ a combination of might, strategy, and high-tech tools to deter and defeat pirates. Now, if you found this video informative, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.